All right, thank you very much for your patience. We had a few technical difficulties, but we managed to get through it. So really excited to have Xena Olsen on to cook with us tonight. Oh yeah, I'm your host, Bryson. You know, I figure people know that already. The unicorn guy. So Xena, what are we doing and why do you have crazy lighting?
Well, I did the crazy lighting for all y'all. Basically, well, I do it for me too, actually. So when I cook, my meals are usually really fast, and I have like 30 minutes in between like my deep focus runs. And so I try to make it as fun as possible to break up like all the studying that I do. So I have like a disco ball and lights and stuff like that. So.
You have already won the prize for the most colorful cook we've had yet.
There we go.
Reminder to everybody, you can put questions in the Q&A and we will answer them as we go. In the meantime, let's get started, Xena.
Okay, great. So what I do is I measure the ground turkey, and I already measured out about 8 ounces. So then I just put that in the pan. Well, first I grab a teaspoon. I do 2 teaspoons of, oh, sorry, the light's getting in the way. 2 teaspoons of olive oil. So I'm going to put that in the pan right now. Okay. And then I'm going to throw the meat in the pan. I try to keep it really simple, just because I don't have a lot of time. And then I have the peppers pre-chopped, and the onions are the mushrooms as well. So I don't know if you can see this here. This is approximately 2 cups of vegetables. And on the diet that I'm on, I can have 2 cups for dinner. So I usually try to have fun. I make it very colorful. So if you can see like the red and the orange and the green. So it's lots of fun. And I try to buy stuff like pre-chopped because ain't nobody got time for chopping. At least I don't.
As I'm over here chopping while you're saying that, ain't nobody got time for that. Chop, chop,
yeah,
chop.
ain't nobody got time for that. So then I just throw it in there. I mean, you can get all fancy. I have my scale here. So like normally I'm by the sink and I just like rinse off the mushrooms or whatever, and then I put them in my measuring cup, and then I just put it in the pan. It's that easy. And I love this seasoning. I don't know if you can see it. It's like my absolute favorite seasoning that I put on pretty much my salad and everything. So I usually just sprinkle a little bit, however much you want, if you got some.
So I'm going to pause you there. So not everybody necessarily has the Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. So I made mine from scratch. And so the way that you can do that to get your own Creole seasoning is that you can, with pepper, salt, of course, basics of everything, basil. I used smoked paprika. You actually want to use quite a bit of this. Oregano, garlic, and onion powder, and a little bit of cayenne. And you can get your own Creole seasoning from scratch.
So normally I'm playing really loud, obnoxious music during my cooking. I had some holiday hack challenge music going on in the background. It's up to you guys if you want some of it. It's
No,
well,
so this is the part where we can talk about things while that's all happening. If you throw the
okay.
music in, it'll overwhelm the audio.
Okay. So yeah, I usually one meal a day, and I play really obnoxious like techno electronic music, and I usually dance while I'm cooking. Don't worry, I won't do that right now.
No. I would see. I want to see the dancing now. Like, come on,
No,
what do you got?
yeah,
Nice dance.
I know. It's kind of actually, let me turn on my other thing.
So, obviously, you have a very special diet that you follow, and that was one of the things that I thought was particularly interesting for this episode. Is you and I had to talk quite a bit to come up with some different recipe ideas. So, what is the philosophy behind what you're making?
Okay, so what I'm doing is following something called ideal protein. And let's see, back in the early like 2010s or so, I lost over 100 pounds doing it. And then a lot of really bad stuff happened. To make a long story short, I decided to get back onto the same eating plan. And the philosophy behind it is making sure that you have like the nutrients and vitamins and all that stuff that you need while still setting your body up for success to lose fat instead of muscle. So for instance, in the morning, I have branched chain amino acids to help with that. I have highly digestible protein supplements that I take for breakfast and lunch, usually in a smoothie format. I think I suggested to Bryson to do riced cauliflower in protein shakes, which is what I usually have for lunch. And he's like, yeah, the blending might not be a good idea. And then because I have one meal a day, like actual real food, I like to have fun with it. So my other suggestion, I have this really neat waffle maker. And so I usually just pat the meat and then put it on the waffle maker. And then I have like a waffle sandwich with like vegetables. And it's so good and it's fun. And so I just try to have fun with my food. Um, so that way I'm not tempted to eat shit.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Like, what's your background? What got you into InfoSec? What do you do right now?
Okay, so let's see. My background, I was a small business owner for about 15 years. Let's see, I did luxury real estate, I did rentals. I got through the crazy market crash by doing a ton of short sale negotiations. And with that, I always was security minded with my clients. So for instance, I would be up to date with whatever the latest phishing campaigns are for real estate clients. And like, I would give them a heads up, hey, if someone contacts you that says that they're from the title company, like don't necessarily believe what they say. Give me a call because people shouldn't be asking you for detailed information that hadn't already set that up with you. So I tried to educate the clients about cybersecurity issues. So I've been doing that for a long time, kind of like a modified form of cyber threat intelligence, but as a business owner, and I would communicate that to my clients. Oh, and then, and I never really considered information security until someone that I was with put a rat on my phone as a business owner and tried to F my stuff up, probably out of jealousy. So through that, I had to learn how to like not to believe what this person said. and protect myself as a small business owner. And the further I went down the rabbit hole of InfoSec, the more I liked it. And so I decided, I'm like, either I can keep sitting these open houses until I'm like 80, right? Or I can like learn these skills and be able to provide like valuable information to others, like through giving talks to people up and coming so that they can kind of understand some of the resources and stuff that are available. So that's how I'm here.
And you recently gave a talk somewhere about with a group of folks.
Oh yes, so I did a GrimCon, which was on adversary detection pipelines, and what I was attempting to do, because like there's one thing about speaker, like mentoring speakers and giving them pointers on their own talk, and it's another thing sharing your content with them and then helping them with their delivery, which is different, right? So I thought, what happens if I could do like a group session and see if I could benefit or impact positively more people at one time, right? And I think it went really well. I shared all my materials with them. I shared my research. I shared the CFP, like all the stuff that I went through for that specific talk, and showed them everything that I prepared for the lawyers, shared pretty much everything, so that if they wanted to duplicate that with their own content, they would have an idea or a way to do it. So it was fun. It was a lot of work. They worked really hard. It took them, what, 7-8 days. They had to go over my content and be able to deliver their portion of my content. So I think they did a really great job, and they took coaching really well too. So when they would talk about a specific thing, I'd be like, well, you know, here's a little bit of the definition. It's not quite like that. And then spent time like explaining like cyber threat intelligence and some of the terminology and putting it in a way that was easily relatable to their content. So it was also a very good learning experience for me as well. So.
Isn't it funny how teaching can help us learn?
Yeah.
So who joined you in on that talk?
So that was Boomslang and Wookie and Glitch.
And you're also doing some additional research to progress things too, correct?
Yes. So I have to rewrite a paper that I wrote for some of the research that I did, because I do it in phases. So I get to a point where the research could be semi-intelligible, I guess, and then I write something up, and then I do something else to advance it, to show like the progression of ideas and the findings, I guess you could say. So I'm on the second paper so far, and I have to do more. But I'm studying for the GXPN right now, so that's taking precedence over the other stuff I have.
So what's that like? What do you have to do to study for that?
Oh, well, let's see. Sunday, between Sunday and Monday, I studied for 18 hours. Bless you.
Thank you.
And last night I studied for 4 hours in addition to working a full-time job. So, you know, Azaria
Yep.
on the Twitters? Okay, well, someone reminded me of Azaria's deep focus technique. And I was like, God, whatever, like this GXPN is flipping hard for me, right? Because I'm a CTI analyst. Like I don't touch any of that other stuff. Like the reason why I wanted to study it is so that I could understand it better, right? Because those are the attacks coming at us. So So I looked at Azaria's thing again and I was like, fine, I'll stop being a whiny little baby B word.
Nice save. Good job.
Yeah, and I'll just freaking do it, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll try 90 minutes to start, and then I'll do a 30-minute break. And then I upped it. That was on Saturday, I think. And then Sunday I was like, okay, let's do 2 hours with a 30-minute break. So it's worked out really well so far, and it's kept me from burning out, which I tend to do a lot, or kind of like I'll end up studying like for 12 hours straight with one bathroom break and I'll forget to eat normally, and that's not healthy. So I'm trying to find something that's sustainable over the long term, so that I can set myself up for success. And so far, it's been working really well. I already got an hour done today, and I have, I don't know, 2 more to go. So after this session, I'll be sitting down for 2 hours and studying. And if I'm lucky, maybe get another hour in before I pass out.
So what is this area's deep focus technique? I haven't heard this.
Oh, you haven't?
No. Do I look like I focus? Come on, I'm dressed in Hawaiian shirt. Drinking white wine. This is my life. This is what I do.
You're a CEO, Bryce. You definitely have focus, trust me. Well, what she suggests, and I'm gonna paraphrase it horribly, so is like you do 90, 120 minutes or something like that, and then you take a break. So what I do, I have this app where it builds trees. So let me show you. So here's my happy little forest. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
So it shows the amount that I've done per day in hours. So let's see, so far for this month when I started tracking it, I'm at 23 hours and 32 minutes. And so what it does is it helps me know that, like, because I get crazy notifications and all this stuff and emails and crap due, right? So instead of freaking out during that specified time, whether it's 90 minutes, 120 or whatever, I just focus on whatever the task is at hand, whether it's studying or writing a paper or doing research or whatever it is. And I'm like, F those notifications, like they can wait for my 30-minute break. And then in my 30-minute break, it helps prioritize my engagement of other people and things. So like, for instance, if someone's trying to start drama in my family or friends or Twitterverse or whatever, I'm like, I only have 30 minutes and I have all of this stuff I need to get done within those 30 minutes. So I can either engage the BS or take care of myself and my life, and I choose myself. So
Good work-life balance. That is key. It's why so many of us burn out. So what's happening now?
With what?
You're stirring. We just keep it going. What are we doing?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess just if you think it's cooked, it's cooked. I usually wait until the liquid kind of drains out, because I like it when it gets a little bit brown, but I also, it's up to your preference on how you prefer to cook your meat and veggies, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just letting it sit there. I think they're steamed well enough. There still is some juices, liquid at the bottom. So Plus I had it on low, so yes. So if you have a really huge task that's super daunting, at least for me, like the GXPN, I know some people it's super easy and they can do it in their sleep, but I am not one of those people. Instead of freaking out like I did, just set the 2 hours, right? And start working on your index or whatever it is, take little chunks. I was like, this is so hard, right? And then I started doing that, and I have like a book and a half left to index for round 1. And yeah, so baby steps.
So when are you planning on taking the exam?
That depends. Technically, it's up June 15th, but I might extend it considering I just had the bandwidth to start studying for it. So I think that would be wise.
Okay. Well, we're rooting for you.
Thanks.
And eating nutritiously at the same time.
Yes. So yeah, it keeps it's low carb, low fat, high protein, easy, not annoying. Just throw it in the pan. It's hard to mess up.
Well, that's part of what we're trying to do with the show is demystify the kitchen for a lot of folks who are afraid to even set foot in it. So the guests range from very simple and very healthy. We've got a chef coming on in a few weeks. We have a master baker coming on in a few weeks, so we're going to mix it up with some different things like that. So yeah, the idea is just approaching all the different aspects of what we can cook in the kitchen and doing it together.
That's awesome. That's definitely helpful. Yes.
So you've had cilantro on the recipe list. Is that something you dress raw at the end?
Yeah, I have 1 tablespoon of onions in here and some cilantro, and then I just put it on top at the end if I feel like it or if I have time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, normally it takes approximately like 26 to 27 minutes, give or take. So I have enough time
That was
to
really
plate
precise for approximate.
it. I have enough time to plate it and refill my water and get back to studying. So then I chow down. Oh no, just yes, I chow down. It's really boring. I try to have fun when I can.
Yeah, I cut up some red onions to dress mine with. I love raw red onions. In fact, I can't remember what the quality is, but there's something about how foods that have red in them have a particular nutritional quality. I know that was great. So I'm gonna put mine with that. And since these were called turkey fajitas, I might actually try to eat mine in a flour tortilla shell and see how that goes.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. You don't have the same dietary restrictions that I do. And the reason why I eat the onions raw is because when you cook onions, it tends to increase the sugar content. So then I can't have them. And I like onions, so I eat them raw.
So hold on, explain that to me again. I know when I saute onions, they caramelize, which can give them, it gives them a sweeter flavor. But you're saying that actually increases the sugar content because it breaks down the aminos into sugars?
All I know is my diet coaches, for God knows how long, they said, do not cook your onions or else.
Oh, all right. Because I was wondering about that. I was wondering why we didn't saute onions with this. All right,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
something about sugar content. I do have a background in biochemistry. If you give me a couple seconds, I can Google the exact answer for you. But yes, I am just like, you guys are smarter than I am. And yeah, I'll just do what you say. So.
All right. What are some other modifications that you've done this to mix it up?
I'm sorry, what?
What are some other modifications that you've done with this dish to mix it up?
I think give me 2 seconds. So what I've done in the past is I have like instead of using the bell peppers and onions, sometimes I'll do just cauliflower and broccoli, which isn't really fajitas. I just called it fajitas because that's the closest thing that I could think of that people are used to eating.
I'm taking it literally.
And let's see, what else have I done? Sometimes I just saute mushrooms, and then instead of using just Cholula sauce, I'll put some like fat-free, sugar-free barbecue sauce on it, which is really good. Let's see, other than that, oh, there's riced cauliflower. You can use that too instead of in your protein shake. Let's see, what else have I done? Ooh, that looks really good.
Yeah, so hold yours up. We do our pose at the end. Got it?
Okay, good. I'm just glad it didn't fall on my computer.
That's dinner not falling on the computer is always an implied requirement.
Yes, so see, 6:37, it was done pretty quick. You know, if you subtract the time it took for me to get in here and stuff like that, it's a really quick meal. It's super healthy. It's very filling. And let's see, I will look at my it is approximately 484 calories, my particular meal. So that's pretty good for the only meal that I eat a day.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts or anything you want to share with the audience on the way out?
I would definitely say learn from my experience and put your health first and eat healthy because that's the biggest gift that you have is your health, and without it you're screwed. So that's all. Eat healthy, please.
So I'll add to that. So I lead daily yoga practice Mondays to Fridays, available and open to all for free. So if anybody would like to join, we do not do anything crazy. We have lots of folks from all sorts of different skill levels. And it's not only a great stress relief, but good exercise. So eat well, work out, take care of yourself, and look out for each other because we're all we've got in this community.
Yes, and check out Azaria's Deep Focus. It's definitely life-changing, and it helps when you have huge tasks that are scary and complicated and hard, and it helps break it down in kind of a manageable way to where you can actually tackle such a monumental, huge, like monumental task that is daunting.
Well, Xena, thank you for coming on and sharing your recipe for ground turkey fajitas.
Yeah,
And thank you all for cooking along with us. Everybody
yes, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, so this is the part where I always struggle with figuring out how to turn the damn thing off. Nope.